Hey guys, hope everyone's well, healthy, and staying at home. What I'm going to do today is answer some questions I've been sent in anonymously about just covering a bit of everything, training, nutrition, motivation, all that kind of stuff. I thought I'm going to answer it in a video, give you guys something to watch and listen to, bit of entertainment, and hopefully I can cover some points for you guys and be a helping hand. The first question we got today is the best way to stay motivated during lockdown. So something that myself I've had to deal with and help clients through, and I think everyone at some point during this lockdown have felt unmotivated and just a little bit flat in terms of just kind of everything going on. What I'd say is try to look past lockdown. So if you are someone who's normally quite good on their diet, quite good when you're training, try to look past this lockdown phase and think, okay, as much as I don't want to get up, kind of, go for a morning walk and, do some body weight training, some resistance band training, or if you're lucky, with some dumbbells or barbell, kind of do that in my garden or in my house. Even though it's not the same, I don't really fancy doing it. Just think, okay, it's going to be a very beneficial for me when I've kind of, got out of this lockdown. I'm back to work, I'm back to training in the gym normally. So just look at, each day as, how many boxes can I tick as what I would do normally day to day without this quarantine in place. And also to kind of help that would be to have a bit more of a routine. So I always make sure I set my alarm at a certain time every day, which would be 6:30. And I'll make sure I'm up. I have no need to be up at that time, but I just make sure I'm up, gets me in good habits, gets me in good routine, and just kind of get some structure to my day. Question number 2. I'm always snacking on food during the day. Again, this is another massive topic that's been going around during the lockdown time. It's very simple, to put it very bluntly and very rude. Just, you control what you put in your mouth, which is the basics of this, okay? You just have to be strong-minded enough not to eat the food. So there's no one force feeding you junk food. It's yourself that is eating it, and then you're subconsciously trying to find excuses to make yourself feel better. Oh, I'm in lockdown, I'm kind of frustrated with the situation that's going on, and I'm just gonna eat, and then I'll fix it when we get back into the gym. Just stop. Like I said, very bluntly, just stop. There's no need. To help the situation, try not to buy the food in the first place. Now, I understand some people have partners or, they have family. So these types of food are in the house of kids or the other half, which is fine. Another point that I've suggested to people is to have like a naughty cupboard with a lock on it. And if you, the gym goer or the athlete, don't want to be eating this food and don't want to be tempted by it, have a lock on it and have someone else in the house have the key or the code to that lock, and it will stop you kind of eating unnecessarily throughout the day. Or substitute junk food out with healthier kind of snacks. So I know one time during my prep last year, I was getting a real sweet tooth. So what I would do would be have a low calorie hot chocolate before bed. And it was only about 40 calories, and it just kind of killed any craving I had throughout the day, wanting some chocolate or some caramel tasting food. Just having a low calorie options hot chocolate really helped. 10 calorie jellies helped as well. And that kind of kept me going in the week and led me up to my cheat meal on the weekend, which obviously I thoroughly enjoyed, and knowing I deserved it as well. So to summarise on that, be mentally strong. Don't give in to temptation, but try and limit the possibilities of that happening by either not buying the food, putting the food away, and maybe substituting the food out for something less calorific, okay? Number 3, products to buy when first starting the gym. It will depend on your goal as well. But one thing I'd say, make sure you have the foundation in place before you start buying supplementation. Supplements are there to aid your training and your diet. So I'd make sure I'd spend time and money on making sure I have these things in place before I start buying protein, pre-workouts, aminos, and all this kind of stuff. What I mean by that is signing up to maybe a couple of websites, looking on forums, buying some books, and just making sure that, okay, I have an understanding on this is my goal. So if my goal was to grow muscle, okay, let me look at the mechanics of hypertrophy. Let me look at the foods that's going to aid that, and let me get that down for a few weeks. Let me find my feet, and let me spend the money on getting the correct food in, the correct knowledge in, and then with any leftover money I have, then I might venture off into a protein powder, amino acid, or a pre-workout. You can always, protein powders, it's better to have food. We all know that. They're just there just in case if you can't get a meal in, if you're in meetings all day, or something just to kind of help you reach that protein target throughout the day. Pre-workouts, you can get the same effect from caffeine. So, a coffee. Amino acids are a little bit different. Obviously, they're essential aminos that our body doesn't produce. So, again, that is a good kind of supplement to look into when you do venture into that part. And I'm a fan of intra-workout carbohydrate as well. So a 25-gram scoop of cyclodextrin, and I really find that kind of helps my training, obviously day to day in that. Question number 4, PPL or bro split. So PPL, for those who don't know, is push-pull legs, or the bro split, which is your normal kind of chest, triceps, back biceps kind of thing. I've done both. And I don't think there's a real right or wrong answer. Again, I think it's down to personal preference. One thing I will say, opinion on both, I found the push-pull legs was great in my off season to add size and to get strong. So if that's your primary goal, then I'd look maybe heading towards that kind of split. However, one thing I did notice when I did start to obviously cut down for a show, there was little bits of my physique missing. Now, obviously that comes with time and maturity of training, but push-pull legs was great for a lot of compounds, a lot of pressing, a lot of pulls and rows and kind of squats. It's not really there for the fine tuning of, different angles. It's more of a kind of, how I done it was more of a bigger movement, kind of base training. One thing I did have, which my arms started to really lag because I was just chucking them in at the end of a pull session or push. So I had to change my split slightly and do push-pull legs, arms, day off, push-pull legs, arms, day off, because they started to really lag behind the rest of my body. So, and then with obviously the bro split is your normal split, and again that's a good split. That's what I'm back on now. So I don't think one is better than the other. I think it's personal preference. Again, with the push-pull legs, I found a lot of damage at times to my joints. My body did feel battered and bruised, but this is something that you have to manage when you're training. If you're logbooking to kind of see how your progression rate is going. When you're starting to plateau, you need to obviously manage the variables why. And sometimes it's just down to I maybe need a deload week or four or 5 days off. Just let my body relax, the inflammation calm down, and then I can go at it again. But this is obviously something that you'll pick up yourself when training. That's what I'm saying, going back to obviously when you first started in the gym, making sure you have a foundation and the knowledge which you can build from. And you're able to kind of recognize these things happening in your training, and you can, kind of intervene and make sure that you're giving yourself the appropriate rest and food in order to kind of recover and grow. But yeah, both splits are good. I enjoy both, and at the minute I'm on bro split, and I'll probably maybe go back to push-pull legs at one time. Also as well, very quickly, push-pull legs is great for those who can only train maybe 3 days a week. So again, those who with work commitments or family commitments, if you can only kind of commit to 3 gym sessions a week, it's a great way to get your full body worked. Upper, lower, upper in terms of push and pull, and obviously your lower with your legs. So that's another good thing. So again, personal preference and kind of what works for you and what your goals are. Number 5, best pre-workout meal. Again, personal preference. Again, I like something very light, easily digesting, and kind of high in carbs, high in sugar. So my go-tos would be rice cakes with jam. So salted rice cakes, with jam on top. They're great. I had them during my prep last year, and they really did help. Again, along with kind of intra-workout while I was training. Baby rice with jam as well is probably one of my new favourites. I've only just started having that into my pre-workout routine. Again, high in carbohydrate, very light and very easily digesting. And a lot of people have cookies, Pop-Tarts, so it's kind of personal preference, but I would lean towards the foods that are kind of, a good amount of calories, high in carbs, high in sugar, but again, very easily to digest, especially in the off season. You don't want to be shoving down a load of rice and potatoes before you train. You kind of get that horrible bloated feel and you just feel like you're going to throw up in the gym. You kind of want to save the room in your stomach, for that type of food throughout the whole day. Pre-workout's a great time to kind of get a spike and then to use that spike as your energy source. So obviously, like I said, high carb, high sugar, easier digesting food. Number 6, have PharmaFitness got any new products out? If so, what are they and have you tried them? So their last release was the Pro Focus and EAA Plus. I tried both of them. 2 absolutely brilliant products. The Pro Focus was a great non-stim pre-workout, really focusing on like a kind of pump formula, mental focus pre-workout, and it was fantastic pre-workout. Really enjoyed that. Makes a change from kind of a 400 milligram scoop of a heavy stim, and the EAAs were great, tropical flavor. Again, a real good drink to have intra training. The new products are creatine monohydrate coming out and a stim pre-workout coming out. I haven't tried them. I know I'll be getting some samples very soon when they're made. So as soon as I do, I'll try them and then I'll leave a review and let you guys know. Number 7, should I still track my food during lockdown? Again, very good question. This is something that probably everyone who was on a good tracking regime or meal plan regime are now kind of asking, especially when motivation's low. You don't really feel like weighing your food out and tracking your food all the time and sticking on plan. But I'll go back to probably my first point saying, like, think long term. Don't just think now and kind of drag your heels with things. Think, I need to keep on my diet, keep my training. The diet, nutrition side of lockdown is probably the most important. A lot of us don't have access to gyms or excessive amount of weight. So we need to make sure we're monitoring what we're eating. So I would say yes, track what you're eating, just so you don't want to just, get fat and get sloppy, because, then when you do get back into the gym, you're going to be starting from square one again. And then you're going to have to kind of deal with that mental side of it. So track what you're eating. Or if you're clever and can trust yourself, ease off the tracking, just make smarter decisions. So I know a few people who are not kind of tracking their food, but they're sticking to the same food sources and they're just kind of eyeballing what they're eating when they're hungry, and just keeping a close eye in the mirror. Not so much on the scales, but just kind of seeing how they're feeling, how they're looking, and just making smarter decisions, which again is fine. So when we do get back into the gym, they're going to probably be, ready to go back into like the training and the macro tracking or the set meal plan, whatever, the person is on. So just don't use it as an excuse to fall off the bandwagon. Keep things tight. I know myself, I need to keep on track because I can't trust myself. I'll just get lazy and kind of eat convenient food. So I need structure to my daily routine. So I track my food and I have a set meal plan. So I'm happy with that. It keeps me on track. And then mentally and physically, I feel good. So I'm in my happy place. So kind of find what works for you and then just apply it. Last one, how long should I bulk before I cut? Good question. I would say you need probably a good 8 to 12 months, depending on what phase of training you're in. 8 to 12 months is good, for a normal kind of surplus. But then you got to look at, I say 8 to 12 months because that's normally probably how long I have an off season for before I then go into a contest prep. But, if I weren't going to be competing for 2-3 years, I'm not just going to bulk for 3 years because it'd be impossible. I'm not going to be able to kind of keep increasing food. I'm going to become intolerant to food. I'm going to feel awful at times. My skin's going to get thick. I'm going to feel bloated. I'm just not going to feel nice. So I'd look at kind of your appetite, how you looking, how you feeling, maybe introducing a diet break, whether that might be a week or pardon me. So introducing maybe a diet break, just kind of laying off the food for a week and then coming back up, or doing like the mini cut is what people call them. But I'd only do that if I was bulking for 6 months. My weight was plateauing. I'm pushing food quite hard. Training's good. What I'll do is then clean up the food. Make sure that I kind of add a little bit of cardio in. Drop the food ever so slightly. Bring it down. Let my weight drop down a little bit. Tighten up, and then you couldn't really like rebound out because your calories wouldn't be as low for as long as what they should do. But that little kind of 6 to 8 week break of kind of adding some cardio in. Not pushing as much food down, you might be able to then kind of bring the food back up and your body take to that spike, and then your body weight start pushing up again. So it's like a step back to go a step forward, but technically it's not a step back. It's just using a different method. They're different things. And also, just by kind of how you're looking, you don't want to be putting on excess fat because it's going to be a pain in the backside to try and get it off. All right. They're the questions that I've been given. So 8 quick questions, quick fire today. I hope that helped. I hope it give you something to watch. Entertaining. Stay safe. Stay eating healthy. Stay training the best you can. And see you in the next one.